Welcome in to NFL Daily, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we are going to discuss the latest NFL news and rumors, those involving Aaron Rodgers as well as Kliff Kingsbury, and the Indianapolis Colts appear to have their next head coach lined up. We'll tell you who that is and more coming up in just a few moments from right now. We begin today with Aaron Rodgers. Could he be headed to the New York Jets? A new report is out from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that over the weekend, the Jets inquired about adding the Green Bay Packers quarterback. And what's very fascinating about this is that we have not come to a full-on resolution yet. The thing that we've heard from Green Bay this entire time, which has been par for the course, is that they are not going to search for a trade until they get an answer from Aaron, whether he wants to stay or wants to go. We don't have that answer just yet. He's going to go on his darkness retreat and hopefully find a solution of some sorts. But after he does, they're expecting to have something. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero over the weekend had this to say. The Packers star QB plans to consider all options during his darkness retreat, detailing recently on the Pat McAfee show that returning to Green Bay, asking for a trade, and retiring are all options. The team is respecting Rodgers' need for time to make his decision, and if Rodgers comes to the team with a request to play his 19th season elsewhere, sources say the Packers are open to working with the four-time AP NFL MVP on a trade. Now, the Jets, what's interesting about them, too, is they hired Nathaniel Hackett as their OC, who used to be his offensive coordinator with the Green Bay Packers. And they also hired Todd Downing as their passing game coordinator, who used to be his quarterback's coach in Green Bay. And now they're coming to the New York Jets, so there's some familiarity there. Now, let me follow you on all these details of this situation. Aaron Rodgers is set to make nearly $60 million next year. The cap hit would be 31.6 if he plays for Green Bay. But if he goes somewhere else, they're going to need to rework the deal of some sorts and make some adjustments. In the timetable, it seems like all of this should be sooner rather than later, as the reports were out over the weekend that the Packers would like to have an answer by the time the league year begins, which is March 15th, so just over a month from right now. What it sounds like, based on what we've heard of the Raiders last week and now the Jets the last couple of days, this might turn into a bidding war of sorts between the New York Jets and the Las Vegas Raiders. Right now, it seems like those two are the leaders in the clubhouse. Could come down to who's willing to offer more, or if the Packers are being kind to Aaron Rodgers, might come down to which one he'd rather play for. You look at the depth chart of the New York Jets, you can see Mike White is QB1 with Joe Flacco there, Zach Wilson as well. And you looked at that Jets team. They have built a really strong foundation, but are still trying to find their answer of who should be their long-term solution at quarterback. Zach Wilson just wasn't it. That didn't work. So, with that said, when you look at the Jets, could that be where Aaron Rodgers plays in 2023? In New York? Or could it be in Las Vegas or somewhere else? Pretty certain it's not going to be Green Bay. Where do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to play next season? Let us know in the comment section below what team you think Aaron Rodgers will play for. These days, every potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. You know, we've all been through the search process of trying to find a job or trying to find qualified candidates. And with LinkedIn Jobs, people like me can be a perfect match for Chat Sports, and other companies can find candidates like me in Chat Sports, how things worked out the way it did. Here's how it all works. Add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. Now, we're beginning a new year, right? We're entering quarter number 1. You want to start the year strong and find the right team members that might help you do just that. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number 1 in delivering hires versus leading competitors. So here's what I need you to do. LinkedIn Jobs, they help you find qualified candidates you want to talk to and faster. Post your jobs for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Doesn't cost you a thing. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily to post your jobs for free. Could Kliff Kingsbury be headed to the Baltimore Ravens? Well, there's a new report out that over the weekend, the Ravens spoke with Kingsbury about the team's offensive coordinator position. Now, to kind of take 2 steps back, remember Kingsbury was fired as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. He then took a trip overseas and was not answering calls right away. He and his girlfriend went out there, and now it appears to be he's picked up the phone with potential interest in Baltimore. Here's how that ultimately played out, according to CBS Sports NFL insider Josina Anderson. I'm told Kliff Kingsbury had conversations Sunday with the Ravens about potentially joining their staff. However, those talks did not produce an immediate fit on timing or other factors at this specific time, per league source. Now, what I find interesting is, comparably speaking to some of the other offensive coordinator candidates for this position, you are talking about a guy in Kliff Kingsbury who ran an offense that was suited for a mobile quarterback in Kyler Murray there in Arizona. Could he then put together a similar scheme in Baltimore to what they did in Arizona? Now, they had their moments, but last year the numbers weren't great for what Kingsbury did. Remember, they lost Kyler Murray towards the end of last season with an ACL injury. And the numbers that they put up, even with all the talent that was there, was the 21st ranked scoring offense in the NFL. 22nd in yards per game, 25th in points per play, yards per play 29th, and 26th in third down conversion rate. And remember, he was the play caller too. So even with Kliff Kingsbury leading the way and all the talent that was there, they didn't have much results to show for it. The other candidates, this has been a very interesting search for the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. They have interviewed a lot of candidates. They've gone through their second rounds of interviews, but it doesn't seem like there's a leader in the clubhouse right now. Zach Robinson seems like the young hotshot potentially from the LA Rams, former quarterback at Oklahoma State. Justin Otten, the former DC with the Denver Broncos, he's looking for a new job, but then you have questions about, well, it didn't really work with Russell Wilson this past year. Chad O'Shea there with Cleveland, wide receivers coach Dave Canales, longtime assistant in Seattle. And then there's the college route, Todd Monken, who is coming off back-to-back national championships with the Georgia Bulldogs. Could he be a fit to go to the NFL? That remains to be seen. So, what about Kliff? Should the Ravens hire Kliff Kingsbury? Does that seem like a match that makes sense? If you think it does, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, in for no if the Ravens should hire Kliff Kingsbury. All right, one more final note before we wrap up here on NFL Daily today. An update from Indianapolis, the long coaching search that has taken a while to figure out who would be the next head coach to replace Frank Wright and potentially go to Jeff Saturday, who served the interim head coach. It would appear that according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, that Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator from the Philadelphia Eagles, is expected to take that job. Steichen did a terrific job in Philadelphia as he's been the offensive coordinator there since 2021. Previously, he was on the staffs of the Chargers and the Browns. And I think the number one thing that you can point to with Shane Steichen, if you want to look for what he did successfully, was the development of Jalen Hurts as a passer. If you're watching the Super Bowl last night, and if that was the first time you've seen much of Jalen Hurts, I understand. But that was a different Jalen Hurts than the rest of us saw his time in college and early in his NFL days. He is quite the passer now, comparably speaking to what he was. And remember, he worked under some of the best, the likes of Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, and others. And it's Shane Steichen and company that has really gotten Jalen Hurts to take that next step. Beyond just how well that offense was for Philadelphia, credit where credit's due for Shane Steichen and company for getting Jalen Hurts to become the quarterback they wanted. This would be the smart hire by Indy. I told you on this program before, and I said for a while that I believed that Jim Irsay wanted to hire Jeff Saturday, that he was trying to do everything he could to make Jeff Saturday his next head coach. But everyone else around him got in his head, I guess, and was smart about it and said, look, don't go with Jeff Saturday. It doesn't make sense. If you want a young head coach, this is your guy that deserves the opportunity. Jeff Saturday, it was a disaster of him as interim head coach. It didn't make sense. This one adds up. The numbers of the Eagles' offense this past year, besides having the best record in the NFC and getting to the Super Bowl, they were second in scoring, third in yards per game, second in points per play, sixth in yards per play, and third down conversions were close to 58% with the numbers they put up. Steichen knows what he's talking about. He's done a really good job. Watch out. Assuming this goes down, and all signs point to that this is going to be the hire for Indianapolis, how would you grade the hire of Shane Steichen by the Colts? Let me know in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think of the hire to bring Steichen to Indy? Let me know. You can also follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, talking about the National Football League there. And I'll see you next time right here on NFL Daily.